Demoiselle cranes. The Khichan story. The Demoiselle crane, Grus virgo, is a crane species that was named after the French word for damsel by none other than Marie Antoinette, the famous last queen of France. However, it was not just the French queen who was mesmerized by these birds. Their long and slender figures and graceful gait also inspired poets and writers for centuries on the other side of the world in northern India, to write about them. In some parts of the Indian subcontinent, the birds are called by the local name of kunjay, a name which is often also applied to beautiful women living in the region. Despite their delicate appearance, however, the demoiselle cranes are known to fight all odds to make one of the harshest migrations in the world. The range of this species stretches from the Black Sea to northeastern China and Mongolia. Turkey also hosts a small breeding population of the species. Every year, the birds migrate to Africa and the Indian subcontinent to spend their winter in the warm environs of these regions. Therefore, in India, the term kunjay is also used to denote people who have left their home to travel to the unknown or those who have undertaken a challenging journey. Come September and the residents of Khichan, a tiny village near the Lodi town of Jodhpur district of Rajasthan gets ready to welcome their winged visitors. The story of Khichan revolves around the annual migration of thousands of demoiselle cranes to the village of Khichan in Rajasthan, India. This phenomenon is largely attributed to the long-standing tradition of feeding the birds by the local Jain community, particularly a village elder named Ratanlal Maloya, who considered it a religious duty. The story of the demoiselle crane man of India is one of serendipity. Called by an uncle to return to his small village homeland, Ratanlal Maloya and his bride found the sleepy town quite a change from their previous life. As devout Jains, they were pleased when handed the task of feeding the local birds. For a time, squirrels, sparrows, and peacocks were the main takers. When a group of huge black and white birds arrived, they discovered the migratory demoiselle cranes who frequented the surrounding farmlands in the winter. Later, he coaxed the panchayat to allot him a piece of land on the outskirts of the village to establish a place for feeding them. Much to the couple's delight, the following year, their numbers doubled. Here in this dusty village, a World Heritage Site has been established and the numbers continue to grow upwards to over 15,000 birds. The villagers revere their feathered friends, providing tons of feed every year, funded through donations and the Jain community. Hundreds of visitors flock to the sanctuary every year to see the symbiotic relationship that has been developed for more than 40 years. Demoiselle cranes are the smallest of the crane species, and are famous for their complex communication methods. Obviously they successfully made it known that Khichan was a safe haven complete with a full menu. Their singing was constant with a deep rasping voice calling in a symphony of sounds. Strains can be isolated by moving around the land to listen to different groups. They pair for life and the bond between the couple is strengthened by duets, and elaborate ballet-like dancing. After their meal, the cranes move on towards two lakes on the edge of the village. There, on Vijay Sagar Lake and Radi Nadi, they drink, perform mating rituals and ingest copious amounts of pebbles from the lake shore. The stones act as grinding mechanisms to help break down the whole grains they have recently eaten. The villages roll. The villagers of Khichan now actively participate in feeding the cranes, providing them with large quantities of grain twice a day during the bird stay, which typically lasts from August to March, with November to February being the peak season. The villagers even fought a legal case successfully to get the high-tension wires passing over the village removed since they were posing a danger to the cranes when they fly. The numbers. Khichan hosts thousands of cranes each year, with some reports stating as many as 14,000 to 15,000 birds visiting the village. The impact. The story of Khichan highlights the power of human compassion and the positive impact it can have on wildlife conservation. Ratanlal Maloya was even recognized for his efforts with the Salim Ali Nature Conservation Award in 2009. I am sure there are many other communities all over the world that are doing a similar conservation task. Kudos to them. If you ever visit India, do visit Khichan in Rajasthan. Thanks for watching.